ask you about, okay, so there's a lot of great brides and corporate clients and floral clients, but okay, I want to ask you about the difficult clients, especially as being a creative. Like, okay,
Okay.
so your work shows crave it, it's for crave occasions, but also you have to do kind of what your client wants as well. How do you approach those situations where you have a difficult customer, difficult client who wants a specific vision for their floor arrangement or their event, and you're like, this is not going to be a good representation of my business? How do you handle the difficult projects like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, I will say that I have fired clients in the past. Not
Mm.
I've maybe two in my career, but that if I just feel like that it's the relationship part of it is not where it needs to be, I will step back from that. Um, Apart from that, and thankfully, like I said, that's only happened twice I can think of in my career. But yeah, yeah. Um, Apart from that, it's really, I think, especially with event work, people in the general populace are not educated about the process. So they really don't know much about what we do. They know that we show up with pretty flowers, but to get there, they don't know much about that. So a lot of what we do and a lot of what I do in working with the client is education. So I'm telling them about the process. I'm telling them about things that happen. And so at that point, then you begin to build trust into your relationship because they realize that you're the expert. So at that point, then I would say to them, have you thought about doing this instead? I'd like to show you another option that I think may achieve what you're trying to achieve, that may end up with better results. And that's kind of how I work those clients who are like, hell bent on using turquoise and hot pink and orange in their color scheme and, or whatever the case may be. And look at this, I'm wearing a turquoise blue shirt with an orange background. Um,
Love it.
um, but it's simply that, really. Can I tell you a funny story about that?
Yes,
I
please.
did have a great client who had a very specific image and concept for what she wanted her wedding to be. She was in a venue that didn't particularly match with that. Okay, so the venue was a little bit more rustic. She really wanted this sort of more tropical kind of vibe, and she loved Gerber daisies. And so, what we did her look. It was a beautiful look. It worked together well. It wasn't the best fit with the venue. The venue manager came up to me and said, "What are you doing?" And this is the day of the wedding. And I said, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm delivering this bride's beautiful flowers." And he said, "Yeah, but it's not right for here." And I said, "I frankly don't care if it's right for here or not. It's what she wants." And he said to me, "There is a time to tell the client no." And I said, "You know what? I disagree with you. I think there's a way to be honest with the client, but there's never a time when I would want to tell the client no. I may try to change their mind. I may try to offer them other options, but I won't say no." So that's another kind of mantra about how to deal with difficult people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's true because like at the end of the day, she's paying, she's a customer, and it's not like she's asking for anything that's like out out of the realm of what you do or anything that would be not okay, not
Right.
PC. Like she just wanted this specific thing. It's like I do think there's like as creative sometimes it can be like you want to control, right? You want to control some of that stuff because it is part of us expressing ourselves too, but at the end of the day, like you just have to like roll with it too. Like it can be difficult. I can understand that, but it's not. We're not like doing brain surgery here or anything.
Yeah, yeah. And while it's a reflection on me, because it's my business, are there people who looked at the pictures from that wedding and thought, "Oh, what was he thinking?" Maybe, maybe. But what
See,
about all the people that she told how
right?
happy she was?
Yeah,
That to me means more
yeah,
than the naysayers who looked at the pictures on Instagram and said, "Oh, this was what was the, yeah, it just didn't work." Maybe, but the client was really happy. The client's
yeah.
family was happy. I'm still friends with the client's family,
Well,
so
yeah.
so
Because
it was a win. It was a win.